Just another regular day on the internet with Jake Paul defeating Nate Robinson in a boxing match, Zoe Laverne blaming everybody else for her problems, and Jacksepticeye being canceled by Twitter. At this rate, the entire internet will be canceled by the end of 2020. Irrelevant news. Jake Paul showed up to the pre-fight press conference wearing a wig trying to look like Super Saiyan Goku, but ended up looking like a troll doll.
You're a worldwide star, YouTube, tens of millions of followers, music artist, the whole shot, and now you're a pro boxer. Why the drive to become a pro boxer when you seemingly got the world by the tail?
The sport, you know? I'm made for this.
I mean, he's not wrong, folks. The one consistent thing that everybody says about Jake Paul is that he has a punchable face.
Nate's kids, if you're watching, please don't watch the fight. I don't want to embarrass your dad in front of you. Please, Nate's kids, don't watch the fight.
Folks, this may be a boxing match between a retired NBA star who has never in his entire life stepped into a boxing ring versus a YouTuber who's been training for 2.5 years. But folks, Jake Paul is taking this as seriously as a 16-year-old taking driver's ed. And that was it, folks. The undisputed best part about the fight night, Snoop Dogg. No disrespect to Mike Tyson or Roy Jones, but nobody can beat Uncle Snoop's commentary.
He'll be all right. Nate from the hood, he gonna shake that off.
And Snoop wasn't wrong. Nate did shake it off. Meanwhile, Jake Bathroom Stall, who here can be seen exuding the fragrance of the inside of a gym bag, had this to say post-fight.
I'm taking this seriously. There's a long list of opponents that I want. You know, Conor McGregor, Dylan Dennis. There's my brother. There's KSI on the line. Austin McBroom.
That's right, folks. Jake Paul has a list, and he's checking it twice, and he will fight whoever he has to fight to become the greatest fighter in human history. And it doesn't matter that even the announcer was confused by the fact that Jake Paul named Conor McGregor and Austin McBroom in the same breath, because everybody knows that a world-class fighter and a guy who shoots vlogs in his pajamas are comparable athletes. But as always with Jake Bathroom Stall, that's not where it ends, because Jake and his friends threw a massive viewing party as well as a massive post-fight party at his girlfriend Julia Rose's house. And as we've gotten used to seeing, the same pro-COVID folks as always who have been going out literally every single day for the past few months, ignoring every sort of CDC guideline and lockdown rule that Los Angeles and California have been implementing, were in heavy attendance, including Logan Paul and Tana Mongoose and the FaZe Clan. And if they weren't at Jake's house, then they were at the Triller compound, where several Hype House members as well as a whole bunch of other random TikTokers got together to watch the fight. This literally less than 24 hours after Los Angeles started a brand new COVID lockdown.
The mandatory order prohibits all public and private gatherings with people from different households, with the exception of church gatherings and protests. In addition, the county is imposing a mandatory 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew with essential workers exempt.
What people don't realize is that Jake Paul, Logan Paul, all the Pauls, all of the friends, and Tana Mongoose, they're all exempt because they are essential workers. People need dumb people to laugh at more than ever before.
The mayor of Los Angeles, Eric Garcetti, in a tweet Friday implored the public to stay at home.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Mr. Mayor Garcetti, but you ain't keeping the dumb Pauls at home, especially the one who's a COVID denier. And just to be clear, that is not Logan Paul, even though it's really hard to tell them apart.
Proud is an understatement. Jake once again exceeded expectations. Y'all can continue to not believe in this kid, but he's going to continue to prove you wrong. He is an absolute legend. He solidified his legacy tonight, and it's just getting started. That's the scariest part about this whole thing, Jake. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, that's good for Logan for being proud of Jake Paul for training literally 3 years so he could knock out a retired NBA player with zero boxing experience and who only trained 12 weeks before his first fight ever. I would also be proud of my little brother for training so much for something that means just as much as the vacuum of space.
I said it on my podcast. I do not care how professional of an athlete you are. I don't care how many street fights you've had, how many NBA games you've had. Boxing is a different game. You can't just step into the sport and call yourself a boxer. So kudos to Nate for getting in the ring. It takes balls to get in the ring, obviously, but he just was not prepared for the reality that is the boxing ring.
And this means a lot, folks, coming from an influencer who lost his only professional fight to a YouTuber who played more FIFA than he trained for the fight.
For anyone who wants to fucking smoke, Jake and I are happy to knock you out and turn you into a meme forever. I feel like he set the bar, and I got to follow up.
Jake most definitely did set the bar at only fighting opponents who have zero experience. That's why a match with Austin McBroom from the Ace family could actually happen.
Never, ever do that to me. You lucky you won tonight. Now you get to face daddy. Yup. Think about it. Take a second, think about it.
That was Austin McBroom from the Ace family reacting to Jake Paul knocking out Nate Robinson and doing what Austin does best, deserving cringe. Seriously, I haven't heard a man call himself daddy when trash talking since LeBron James played basketball against his son Bronny, because he's his actual son.
It's time to teach you a lesson, little man. Yes, daddy.
Seriously, if cringe could win a fight, Austin's got this. But YouTubers weren't the only ones who reacted to the fight. Actual boxers had this to say.
Boxing figures call on stupid celebrity fights to stop after Jake Paul's brutal knockout of Nate Robinson.
Well, folks, why why would professional boxers want these celebrity fights to stop? Jake Paul trained for 2.5 years so he can knock out a guy who's never even stepped into a boxing ring. Jake Paul's a very serious and respected fighter. It's not like the event promoter saw an opportunity to get a ton of social media exposure from a guy who would most definitely turn the event into a sideshow. Because that's not what happened at all.
Robinson needed extensive medical attention in the ring and struggled to get to his feet before a chair was brought in for him to sit. He was reportedly taken to a hospital soon after.
Folks, it's okay. Trust me, it's all fake. They were playing it out for the drama so they could get more likes and views.
The fight was sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission with traditional rules of 10-ounce gloves and no headgear, despite Robinson's reported lack of training.
See, the California State Athletic Commission would never sanction a fight where somebody who has absolutely zero experience in a very violent sport could actually get hurt. At the end of the day, we all got to witness a boxing match that was supposed to be a low-stakes fight between two amateurs, but turned into a spectacle at the expense of one man's dignity. And isn't that what the internet is all about?
Teddy Atlas, a former trainer of Tyson, added, "I don't care about athletes or not. Stop allowing guys who don't know how to fight into a ring. Paul has actually trained to fight. Awful. I have a California commission if they allow this."
I mean, folks, as long as they're bringing in millions in pay-per-view money, who cares, right? Britain's former super flyweight champion, Colbert, added that,
"Scary thing is, Nate Robinson got licensed to fight a pro fight."
but isn't that how things are supposed to work? You never fight a single fight and you go straight to pro? I mean, last time I was on a 747, the pilot just let me take it out for a spin, even though my only flight experience is on Flight Simulator. IBF super featherweight champion Joseph Diaz said,
"Can we stop with these BS YouTube fights? It's embarrassing and disrespectful to the sport. Boxing isn't a sport to play with. These guys gonna get hurt."
folks, when are people going to understand that Jake Paul has a desperate need to prove something? I mean, even if you put Jake Paul in a boat paddling in a pond in the middle of Central Park, he will still figure out a way how to unnecessarily turn it into a competition.
They help boxing so much. Boxing owe these guys some kind of, they owe these YouTube boxers some kind of, respect. They should give them some belts because these guys make boxing alive. Boxing was pretty much a dying sport.
Hey, I agree with Iron Mike. Jake did a terrific job promoting the fight and also working really hard to become a fighter. So since Jake wants to be a boxer so bad, maybe next time that they book him for a fight, maybe match him up with an actual professional fighter instead of somebody who's stepping into the ring for the first time in their lives.
And now we got these YouTube boxers. Boxing, 25 million views. Boxing's going back thanks to the YouTube boxers.
That's right, folks. At the end of the day, it's all about money. I mean, just think about it, folks. If they sold 500,000 pay-per-view packages, they made $25 million. How much money to justify a guy with zero fighting experience walking into a boxing ring so he could potentially fight himself into a life-threatening injury?
Stop making it about the money, KSI. You're scared, bro. I know you are. I'm a real dog. I just became the biggest prize fighter overnight.
In fact, Jake Paul did become the biggest prize fighter overnight, and the source for that information is his ego. And speaking of ego, Zoe Laverne, what the hell's going on over there?
Did you actually, Connor? No. Please look up what is, and please stop coming to my life calling me that. No one anyone. Connor even told you guys that that didn't happen.
That is 100% correct, folks, because when somebody's a victim of they're 100% aware of what's happening, especially if they're 13 years old. In fact, 13-year-olds are so aware of everything that's happening around them, they have supreme intelligence and consciousness. That's why I don't know a single 13-year-old that's not smarter than every single adult in human history.
Kissing is known as like, it's not known as like, what's the word? Yeah, like kissing isn't known as that. Kissing is like, kissing just happens. Like people kiss all the time. Like it's not illegal. I would have been in trouble for it.
That's right. If this whole situation were illegal, Zoe would be in trouble, but she most definitely is not. That's why she keeps having to address it literally every other day.
Yes, he's a minor. 13 and 19 is illegal, yes. But the police were already involved.
Oh, you heard it here first, folks. The police were involved, and they clearly don't care. Allegedly.
Yet you still use that. Because I'm Zoe. But if it was anyone else, it'd be a different story.
If this was Avani Gregg, Charlie D'Amelio, oh, we love her, it's okay, acceptance, forgiveness, peace, love, and rainbows.
That's right, folks. People are only coming after Zoe Laverne because she's Zoe Laverne. Everybody knows that if it were Charlie D'Amelio, nobody would care. That's why Charlie got canceled 2 weeks ago because of shellfish. Speaking of cancellation, Jacksepticeye was recently canceled on Twitter, proving that anything can happen in 2020.
Imagine not having a PS5.
Oh yeah, that's true. Those PS5s sold out fast.
What about not wanting a PS5? Not being able to afford a PS5? I'd rather be able to bring food to my table. Keep being able to pay rent. We're not all famous like like you. I lost a lot of respect for you. I doubt that'll mean anything, coming from someone like me who shouldn't talk, but I don't care.
Oh wow, people are not happy with Jack. This feels weird.
Imagine being a jerk about it.
Wow, they're really not happy with Jack.
Yes, Jack. Mocking poor people or unlucky people is funny, Jack. It definitely isn't a mean-spirited joke, Jack.
This has to be one of the most unusual things to come out of 2020, seeing Jacksepticeye literally get canceled by Twitter.
My family is living off food stamps right now. Why joke this while so many people are struggling to survive? I know it's not your intention to make people feel bad, but this post didn't exactly make me feel good.
Folks, I'm going to make a bingo card filled with social media influencers, half who get canceled all the time and half who you never imagine would get canceled, and I guarantee you that all of them will be canceled by the end of the year, even though we only have 1 month left.
Nah, bad take. Even if it's not a joke about the poor, it's a joke from a place of instant accessibility. Haha, I have, you don't. That's at best a joke you do with friends, not millions of fans that are left without. In either case, poor form.
At this rate, we may even see cancellations get canceled.
So many people actually got mad about this tweet. It's just a joke, guys. I think it's pretty obvious that I would never define people by the material things they have.
Strap on your strap-ons, folks. There's still 30 days left in 2020. It's going to be one hell of a ride. Anyway, defenders, make sure you like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you like, will be another cancellation averted. Tell me in the comments down below what do you think. I want to know. Check out these videos right here. They're good too. Make sure to still wash your hands, not touching your faces, staying away from stupid people. Have an amazing day, defenders. I love all of you. Peace.